We will soon enter the second phase of version 2.1, which introduces Alice, a cute yet deadly agent. Based on the information we've gathered so far, it's clear that Alice will have a physical attribute and the Anomaly role. She serves as a DPS on the team and is capable of triggering additional assaults on enemies, similar to Yanagi's ability to trigger additional disorder. She is rumored to have a great synergy with Yuzuha, a support character who aids the Anomaly team. Will Alice's arrival in version 2.1 make her one of the DPS characters capable of securing a position in the latest meta or even overtaking it? Without further ado, I'm Hoyostation and we will discuss the ultimate guide of Alice in version 2.1. Let's do this. Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough Stellar Jades? Here's a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Look no further than Lootbar. Lootbar is the most reliable top-up platform. It saves up to 23% for all orders compared with the official channel, and it provides an 80% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy pack for 3000 Stellar Jades for $42, which otherwise would have costed $50. Totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in the less than 3 minutes. All recharges will be done through the official channel with MiHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. Alright, before we dive deeper into her kit, I will provide a brief explanation of how it works. As you know, Alice is an Anomaly agent, meaning her damage output revolves around applying Anomaly and disorder statuses to enemies. One important aspect of Alice's kit is the Blade Etiquette. Alice gains 10 Blade Etiquette every time she applies an assault status to enemies. In addition to her ability effects, you can obtain an additional 30 Blade Etiquettes if a teammate triggers disorder on enemies. Alice receives 1 bar of Blade Etiquette for every 100 Blade Etiquettes collected. Once you have collected 3 bars, you can hold down the basic attack button to activate her signature skill, Basic Attack Starshine Waltz. This skill grants a unique anomaly status called Polarized Assault. Polarized Assault acts as an anomaly that can cause disorder when interacting with other anomalies. Pretty simple, right? Alright, now we will discuss her basic attack in more detail. It's one of the most important aspects of her kit. Alice has 2 versions of the basic attack. The first, called Basic Attack Celestial Overture, deals physical damage and strengthens her 5th basic attack when Alice triggers assault through anomaly build-up. The second version, Basic Attack Starshine Waltz. It can be used when Alice's Blade Etiquette bar is at least 1 bar and the basic attack button is held down. This skill is worth discussing, guys. Alice performs different attacks based on how many Blade Etiquette bars she has. If she has fewer than 3 bars, she will only perform a slash. However, if she has 3 bars, executing the finishing move of the 3rd stage of this skill will trigger Polarized Assault. Polarized Assault is an additional assault that can only be triggered by Alice and deals the same damage as a normal assault. Uniquely though, Polarized Assault is not considered a normal assault and can trigger disorder if hit by another anomaly attribute, including normal assault. Therefore, with Polarized Assault, the damage dealt by Alice through this skill is doubled, because 2 attacks can be triggered at the same time. However, keep in mind something when using this whole basic attack. Use it only when Alice has 3 Blade Etiquette bars or a full bar. This bar is located below Alice's icon. It's best not to use it if you don't have a full bar because it will only waste the bars you have without dealing significant damage. Next, we will move on to her special attack, which has 3 versions, 1 normal version and 2 EX special attack versions. The normal version, named Special Attack Piercing Dawn, has effects similar to standard special attacks, but with an additional feature. After using this skill, you can trigger a perfect dodge, allowing you to perform a follow-up attack with 5 basic attacks by pressing the basic attack button after triggering the perfect dodge. With this effect, you can trigger a perfect dodge without first pressing the dodge button. For the first EX Special Attack version, named EX Special Attack Aurora Thrust Northern Cross. This skill can be activated by having sufficient energy and directing the joystick forward. she will perform a piercing attack forward that will penetrate enemies, deal lethal damage, and feel 10 blade etiquette. Like the normal fashion, this EX special attack also triggers a perfect dodge, so if you use this skill just before the enemy attacks, she will automatically avoid the attack. This skill is very useful for helping to charge the energy of blade etiquette so that Alice can perform the basic attack Starshine Waltz more consistently. For the second EX special attack named EX special attack Aurora Thrust Southern Cross, it has similar effects to the first EX special attack but can be activated differently. If you have enough energy and move the joystick backward or not at all, this skill will be used. The difference lies in the form of the attack delivered, which is adjusted based on the direction of the joystick used to move your character. This skill can also trigger a perfect dodge and restore 10 blade etiquette. Alright, let's move on to the core skill, which also has an important effect on her kit. The core passive, named Core Passive Twin Rainbows of the Sword Heart, is extremely useful for teammates with physical attributes, such as Yuzuha, who is the best support for her, as she can provide buffs and physical anomalies both on and off the field using her Tanuki Kama. This core passive increases disorder triggered when enemies have physical anomaly, causing polarized assault to also increase directly, with a significant boost of up to 180%. Furthermore, Alice can charge blade etiquette while attacking enemies and triggering assault. This makes blade etiquette charge faster, automatically causing Alice to trigger her whole basic attack more frequently. Besides providing additional damage, this core passive also increases her physical anomaly build-up rate by 25% every time Alice triggers an assault. Interestingly, the duration of this increase is 30 seconds, so we can obtain this effect permanently as long as Alice continuously performs her whole basic attack to trigger the assault. And as we know, nearly all of her kit can charge blade etiquette, allowing her to trigger assaults consistently. Then her additional ability named Additional Ability Mystery Hunt has an equally intriguing effect. With this additional ability, every time a teammate triggers disorder, it will feel 30 blade etiquette for Alice, allowing teammates like Yanagi, Bernice, and Vivian to be used to trigger disorder when Alice is not on the field. Honestly, I don't see a maximum limit on the blade etiquette that can be obtained through disorder triggered by teammates. So we can continuously trigger this effect as long as we have teammates with attributes other than physical to trigger disorder. In addition to blade etiquette recharge, the Anomaly proficiency boost gained by Alice will also be useful for maximizing damage output through both normal assault and polarized assault. Note that the Anomaly proficiency gained from the additional ability has no cap, so we can continue to increase Anomaly proficiency by 1.6 points for every Anomaly mastery stat exceeding 140 points. However, Anomaly mastery points themselves will not increase significantly, as their sources are limited to the W engine and disk drive 6. Additionally, the initial 300 blade etiquette points at the start of the battle will be highly useful for executing combos and launching full-scale attacks from the outset without needing to first accumulate blade etiquette points. Next, we will look at Alice's chain attack and ultimate. Her chain attack, called Chain Attack Starfall Intermission, has a similar effect to the chain attacks of other agents. As for her ultimate, called Ultimate Starfall Finale, in addition to dealing massive damage, the main point of this ultimate is that it will grant 200 blade etiquette, which is equivalent to 2 full bars of blade etiquette. With such a large blade etiquette bar recharge, Alice can easily execute her basic attacks more frequently. Looking at the damage multiplier of this ultimate, which stands at 4524.7%. This is a significant damage multiplier and will undoubtedly be highly beneficial for both damage contribution and anomaly build-up from Alice herself. Finally, we will move on to the last part of her kit, the MINDSCAPE. The first MINDSCAPE, called Palmful of Cilantro, has an effect that greatly helps Alice feel blade etiquette and reduce defense. Each time Alice uses Polarized Assault, she feels 25 blade etiquette, allowing her to use it again more quickly. Additionally, the defense reduction effect on enemies will consistently activate when Alice triggers Assault because she can trigger it fairly frequently. The second MINDSCAPE, Sage at the Sword's Tip, has a great effect. When Alice's ultimate finishing move hits an enemy, Polarized Assault is triggered. Combined with the effects of the first MINDSCAPE, Alice gains 225 blade etiquette points each time she uses her ultimate. Furthermore, the Anomaly proficiency boost provided by her additional ability increases by 15 points for every 1 Anomaly mastery point exceeding 140 points. This drastically increases the damage of both Assault and Polarized Assault, as Alice previously gained only 1.6 points for every point of Anomaly mastery exceeding 140 points. The fourth MINDSCAPE, Rosemary on Her Lips, has a very simple effect, but it's definitely cool too. This MINDSCAPE provides an energy regeneration boost, which aids in recharging her special attack energy. This energy can then be used to charge Blade Etiquette. Additionally, the damage dealt by basic attack Starshine Waltz and Ultimate Starfall Finale increases by 25%, further boosting Alice's primary attack damage. This also affects Polarized Assault and Assault attacks. As for the final MINDSCAPE named Heart of Time, it has a very interesting effect. Alice will gain an enhanced status after performing the third stage of basic attack Starshine Waltz and her ultimate. This enhanced status will cause Alice to deal additional damage equivalent to 3,300% of Alice's Anomaly proficiency. Uniquely, this attack will always trigger a critical hit and can be triggered up to 6 times. If we do a little calculation, the total additional physical damage that can be dealt is 19,800% of Alice's Anomaly proficiency at its maximum limit. This effect is understandable considering that the sixth MINDSCAPE is the final MINDSCAPE, which is extremely difficult for regular players to obtain. Alright, next we will discuss her signature W engine, Practiced Perfection. This W engine's effect is quite simple, yet it provides an interesting damage increase. In addition to increasing attack and Anomaly mastery, both of which are useful for increasing Alice's overall damage, this W engine can increase the user's physical damage by up to 40% every time the user triggers an assault. This physical damage boost remains consistently active given that Alice's kit makes it easy to trigger assaults. Alice receives the full effect of this W engine from the start of the battle, enabling her to deal maximum damage from her first rotation. Although this physical damage increase only lasts 20 seconds, we can repeatedly trigger assault to renew the duration and maintain the maximum limit. Furthermore, the W engine can be used by other agents such as Jane Doe and Piper, who have physical attributes and can trigger assault. Therefore, equipping the W engine is a worthwhile choice considering its effects can be maximized by multiple agents. Okay, now let's talk about everything you need to build her well. Practiced Perfection is the W engine that maximizes Alice's kit. All of its effects, such as increased attack, Anomaly mastery, and physical damage, greatly increase the damage of Assault and Polarized Assault triggered by Alice. If you don't plan to use her signature W engine, an alternative option is Jane Doe's signature W engine, Sharpened Stinger. This W engine provides an Anomaly proficiency, which is useful for Alice. Since nearly all of Alice's special attack triggers perfect dodge, she can activate and utilize the physical damage boost and Anomaly build-up rate from this W engine, as long as she can trigger perfect dodge or dash attack. An alternative A-rank W engine is Rainforest Gourmet, which increases the user's attack by up to 40% at its maximum limit. Another option is Electro Lip Gloss, which provides a significant attack boost. Unfortunately, this W engine can only be obtained through the Premium Battle Pass. Anyway, the best disc drive to recommend to Alice is the 4-piece Fanged Metal. It increases physical damage and provides additional damage when team member triggers an assault. Alice can maximize this effect because she has physical attributes and frequently triggers assaults. As an alternative to Fanged Metal, you can use 4 sets of Freedom Blues, which provide Anomaly proficiency and reduce enemy Anomaly build-up resistance. For the 2-piece disc drive set, you can use 2 pieces of Faiden's Melody to increase Anomaly mastery, 2 pieces of Freedom Blues to gain an additional 3 points of Anomaly proficiency, or 2 pieces of Hormone Punk, Astral Voice, or Chaos Jazz to increase attack percentage. Anyway, you can see the main stats and substats of the disc drive you use below. Finally, we come to the last part of this video, which is about suitable teammates to pair with Alice. Yuzuha is the best support for Anomaly agents and the first agent suitable to pair with Alice. She can provide buffs in the form of increased attack power, increased Anomaly build-up, and increased Anomaly damage. These buffs are useful for Alice because she is an Anomaly DPS. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, Yuzuha can deliver extra attacks with the Tanuki Kama, both off-field and on, enabling her to deal additional physical damage. Furthermore, Yuzuha can apply a debuff called Sweet Scare to enemies, causing them to take extra physical damage. The next agent is Yanagi. Yanagi has a special attack that can trigger Polarized Disorder, similar to Alice's Polarized Assault. Yanagi also increases the disorder damage of team members, which is useful for boosting Alice's disorder damage when triggering Polarized Assault. As you know, Polarized Assault can trigger disorder when hit by a normal assault. Yanagi provides a buff and contributes additional damage, as well as helping to recharge Alice's Blade Etiquette through the disorder she generates. If you don't have Yanagi, Burnice is the next agent that can be used as an alternative. Burnice applies a fire anomaly to enemies and deals additional damage for a relatively short duration. Additionally, she applies an afterburn effect that deals extra damage to enemy targets. Burnice can also trigger disorder, which helps charge Alice's Blade Etiquette. Another agent that can be used as an alternative sub-DPS is Vivian. She can be used as a sub-DPS in many Anomaly teams due to her core passive ability, which applies additional damage over time damage to enemies based on their Anomaly attributes. Additionally, Vivian can also deal additional disorder and Anomaly damage to enemies, which helps fill Alice's bar. You can use either Yanagi, Burnice, or Alice depending on the agents you have in your account, and Alice's team composition is quite flexible in terms of sub-DPS selection. Alright guys, that's all for this video. What do you think? Are you planning to get Alice in version 2.1? Feel free to leave any comments down below, and don't forget to check out my other videos because they are just as cool. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.